If you're thinking about making a move to Memphis, make sure you consider Southaven, Mississippi. That's a city you definitely want to take a look at. Hi, I'm Jeff Jones with MidSouth.Homes at eXp Realty, and here on the Living in Memphis channel, we talk about all the different places that you can live in the Memphis area, whether you want to live in Memphis or outside of Memphis. If you're thinking about making a move in the next 9 days, 90 days, or 9 months, I and my network of agents are here to help you find the next home for you. If you have a home to sell, we can help you sell one as well. Even if you don't live in the Memphis area or don't plan to move to the Memphis area, but you just found this and hey, you like the guy on the screen, we can help you out because I've got a network of agents all across the United States, and there's even some in other countries. Hit me up on text message, make a phone call, set up a Zoom conversation with me. Whatever you need to do to get in touch with me so that I can help you be confident in your next move. Hey, and make sure you hit the subscribe button and click the bell and hit the like button too to share this with anybody else. But I want to make sure that you get the latest episodes from Living in Memphis when they drop. Now, let's jump into the map to take a look at Southaven, Mississippi. Okay, you can see on the screen here, what I've already drawn out in blue is DeSoto County. That is the county that is in the most northwest corner of Mississippi. And in DeSoto County, there are actually 5 cities in DeSoto County. Today, we're going to be talking about Southaven, and you can see Southaven is outlined here. This is the city of Southaven. You can see how it compares to the rest of DeSoto County. I've already got a couple of videos out on Olive Branch. Horn Lake is just to the west of Southaven. The city of Walls is a little bit further west, and the city of Hernando, that's the county seat. It's south of Southaven, and I mentioned Olive Branch. It's to the east, but you can see there's still a whole lot of areas in here that's county that's not in any of the cities. So if you're looking for some places to live that you'll save on save on property taxes, you might want to consider some of these areas that are outside of the actual city limits. I can help you with all those as well. But today I want to take a look at specifically about Southaven and what's involved in finding a place for you to live in Southaven. But I want you to see just how to get around in Southaven and where things are. So let's zoom in on the map just a little bit, and we can see, begin to see some of the major roads in Southaven. Now, if you've watched the pros and cons video, you heard me talk about traffic. With the growth that Southaven and pretty much all of DeSoto County has had in the last 20 to 25 years, it has put a strain on our traffic. Roads have been widened. Some have been extended to be able to go further to connect to other roads. There's just been a lot of things that have tried to be done to help with our roads and with transportation, but it still gets to be an issue. I want to make sure you are aware of the major thoroughfares through Southaven. Being only 54 years old or 53 years old, Southaven was founded in 1980, actually incorporated as a city in 1980. There are a few major roads that run east and west and a few major roads that run north and south. You can see here that's still set up kind of like a grid. All of these bigger squares are 2 square miles and the smaller ones are 1 square mile. That's what they're supposed to be, but the way the roads fell, it might change a little bit. Anyway, I want to tell you about the roads that go east and west that you can travel from Olive Branch to Horn Lake or hit the interstate and go north. And the primary road that goes east and west is this road right here, and it's Mississippi Highway 302, but we call that Goodman Road. And Goodman Road runs east and west, and it runs all the way over. Actually, it continues over at least one other county to the east and intersects with Highway 72, Poplar, that comes out of Memphis and continues going east all the way over to the eastern edge of the state of Mississippi. So this is Goodman Road. There are going to be bottlenecks at times on Goodman Road in Southaven. Here at Getwell, there's a bottleneck from time to time, depending on the time of day. At I-55, there can be bottlenecks a little bit further going over into Horn Lake, but staying here in Southaven, and Airways right in here. Those are going to be some areas that you're going to see some traffic jams in the morning commute time, the afternoon commute time, shopping, if it's holidays or Christmas, whatever's coming up, you're going to have some issues with there. Another road that folks like to use to get around in Southaven is going to be Church Road. And this road down here, for the most part, there's commercial as far as shopping and stuff that happens on this section of Church Road, a little bit right here at the corner of Getwell and Church Road. But for the most part, Church Road is residential in this area. There can be some bottlenecks, but people will use this. They'll jump down off of Goodman Road onto Church Road to continue going over into Olive Branch, or to continue going west over into Horn Lake, south of Horn Lake, if they're going to Tunica or somewhere hitting 61 and going south. So they'll travel Church Road. This whole section of Church Road that's out in the county and Horn Lake is residence. There may be a shop every now and then, but it's nothing like what you have on Goodman Road. And then up at the top here, there is State Line, and that is actually just a little bit below the state line of Tennessee and Mississippi. It's not right on the state line. Southaven and Mississippi continue to the north just a little bit. But State Line is another road. It doesn't go all the way over to Highway 78. It dead ends right here at Davison Road, but it will continue going over to Highway 61 out in the county. State Line is a road that people will use. This area up in here in State Line, it's the old original town. It's the West End district. From let's see, about I-55, this area all in through here are a lot of warehouses and a few businesses up in here. It's a big industrial area with access to the interstate, a lot of distribution and stuff, even further up north into Shelby County a little bit. You get into warehouses and commercial district. There are a few residences up here, but not a whole lot. You get in some more residences on State Line Road when you get over into this section where it goes over into Olive Branch, is where you begin to get residences back through here. Anyway, that's the roads that go east and west. Now let's talk about some roads that go north and south. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more to get a better view of this. So the roads that go north and south. You've heard me mention Getwell. This is Getwell right here. It runs all the way up into Memphis. It's a really long road. It dead ends at Park Avenue near the campus of University of Memphis. It goes south almost into Hernando. It's just east of Hernando, again, the county seat. But Getwell, there is a lot of commercial shopping and stuff all in this area up in here. It's continued down a little bit, and you get into residential all back in here and residential all back in here. This area is going to be residential. So it just kind of gives you an idea of where and up in here is going to be residential. But it gives you an idea that this Getwell corridor is a prime shopping, dining, schools. It's a prime area in here. Not only Getwell, the other roads that go north and south. You can see this road right here. This is Interstate 55. It's a United States federal interstate that comes through here. It connects New Orleans going up north. We get to St. Louis from here, and it just continues going north. There is you can see this area right down in here, this 269. Let me change this a little bit so we can see it a little bit better while we're talking about interstates. I want to tell you a little bit more about this. You can see this 269 is this area right here, and it's this loop that goes all the way around the whole Memphis area, which sometimes you may hear me or others talk about the Mid-South. That's this whole area with West Memphis, or with eastern Arkansas, West Tennessee, Northwest Mississippi. We call it the Mid-South. But this 269 is a loop that's been open for, I guess, 3 years now, that doesn't completely connect Memphis as far as a complete circle you might have around Dallas or Houston, Atlanta. We don't have that because of the Mississippi River Bridge. There are only 2 bridges here, so all these have to feed back down to these 2 bridges. But this will be what you may have heard talked about of I-69, and that is to connect connect Mexico all the way to Canada. And it's going to route through Memphis. It'll come up hitting 269, and then it will continue on up into, I think, the St. Louis area. This 55 that goes through here will continue on up into becoming doubly 55 and 69. But again, I just wanted you to see how Southaven connects in here, that you can hit 55 and you can get up here into Memphis, to the zoo, to downtown, the FedEx Forum where the Grizzlies play, Memphis Redbirds AutoZone Park where the Redbirds play, anywhere, and you can hit 240, which is the first loop through Memphis, and get anywhere you need to go. So I-55 cuts through Southaven, pretty much the center of DeSoto County. So that's another one of your major roads that goes north and south in Southaven is going to be I-55. Right next to I-55 is Highway 51. And before I-55 was put in, it was the main thoroughfare going up into Memphis and going south down into Hernando and other parts of Mississippi. It runs parallel, and there are right now, as of this taping, a couple of times a week that parts of I-55 are shut down due to traffic accidents. So people will jump off of 55 and jump on 51, which causes bottlenecks on 51. Most of the bottlenecks happen when you get a little bit further south of here, because I-55 goes from being, I believe there are 8 lanes coming out of Memphis, and it goes down to 4 lanes when it gets a little further. And the traffic just creates issues. And anytime there's an accident, it slows everything down. So again, I mentioned you've got Getwell, you've got I-55, you've got Highway 51. We also have through here, let's see, zoom in so I can make sure I have my roads named properly. I think I know what they are, but I just want to make sure. Yeah, I had it right to begin with. This one here that's kind of in the center of Southaven, it's called Sweeney, and it goes up into Memphis. It also connects all the way through. In the last, I think, 7 years, Sweeney used to dead end up in here. It's been cut through all the way down to Star Landing, and the county is just about ready to open open up Sweeney all the way down into Hernando to help pull traffic off of Getwell, off of I-55, off of Highway 51. That project's going on right now, and it should be paved pretty soon and opened up hopefully early 2024. Haven't driven that way in a couple of weeks. I don't think it's open yet, but it's getting really close to being open. So that gets you through here. Tullahoma is another road that people will use to get through here, but it only runs from Church Road up into Memphis. This road here is Elmore. It becomes Greenbrook Parkway once it gets north of Goodman Road. If you're wanting to know, our Sam's Wholesale Club is right here at the corner of Elmore and Goodman Road. But Elmore is another road that can get you north and south. And then I'm also going to tell you about Airways, and Airways is what it sounds like. It takes you all the way up to the Memphis airport. This is the south end of the Memphis airport. You've got to go a little bit further north on Airways or I-55 or through Getwell to get to the airport, a couple of miles north, further north to get actually to the terminal. But Airways continues on, and it goes down into to Church Road. And here at Church Road is the Tanger Outlets for our area. It's a great place to go shopping. There's some apartment complexes down in here if you're looking for apartments. You might have heard me talk about the Landers Center. That is our indoor arena where concerts, things happen. It's also a convention center space. That's down here at Church Road and I-55 at near the end of Airways. Airways continues on, but it's commercial businesses and stuff down in here. But you'll hear again, if you're looking in this area, you're hearing Airways, Getwell, Goodman, Church Road, I-55, Highway 51, State Line. You're going to be hearing those roads. This area out in here in Southaven is residential with some businesses. There was a big grocer out in this area. You got some warehouses. Again, this is the old area of Southaven called West End. City Hall is right here next to I-55. So that's the streets that you want to be familiar with in Southaven. Now let's talk about our schools. People want to know where the schools are. I've mentioned Getwell, and one of the schools, or I guess multiple schools, but it's the same name. One of the schools is actually here on Getwell, and that's DeSoto Central. DeSoto Central has a primary school, elementary, middle school, and a high school. If you've heard me talk about other videos, all of the schools, all the public schools in DeSoto County are part of the DeSoto County school system, even if they're in a city. Southaven has two high schools inside Southaven. One is Southaven High School, and I'll show you that one in just a second. The other one is DeSoto Central High School. DeSoto Central High School is located here on Getwell, just south of Goodman Road. This is DeSoto Central High School. The middle school is behind it, and the elementary school is behind it. The primary school is a little bit further south. There wasn't space to build it here, so they built the primary school down just a little bit south of College Road, right at the very bottom of Southaven. So this is the DeSoto Central Primary School. DeSoto Central is one of the schools, and when we're talking schools, primarily high schools, it's one of the high schools that's ranked the highest out of, I believe there's 10 high schools in DeSoto County. It's in the top 4 or 5 as far as rankings go of popularity. You can check all that on greatschools.org. According to all that, and where people want to actually live, and they want to live where the elementary schools feed into those high schools. There are a few elementary schools that feed into DeSoto Central High School. One actually happens to be in Olive Branch. So even though it's an Olive Branch, people may live in Olive Branch and their kids go to an Olive Branch primary school or elementary school. When they go to high school, they may end up in Southaven in high school at DeSoto Central High School. But it's one of the popular schools. The other high school that we have here in Southaven is going to be Southaven High School, and I'll take you to that on the map as well. So if you were to travel up Getwell Road from DeSoto Central Primary, travel up Getwell Road, go across Goodman, go up Airways, go across Rasco, you're going to come to the high school up in this area. Now let's zoom in and take a look at that. We have Southaven High School here, the middle school here, and the elementary school here. Again, this is not the only elementary school that feeds into the high school, but it's the closest one around. There are a few others scattered up in this area. But that's going to be your primary public schools that we have here in Southaven. The Southaven High School and those that feed into that, and DeSoto Central High School and those schools that feed into that. There are also a few private schools. One of the more popular private schools here in Southaven and in DeSoto County is North Point Christian School, and it is at Getwell and Goodman Road. Here is Goodman Road, here's Getwell, and here's North Point Christian School. So we can zoom out and see that a little bit, where it kind of fits in the area. North Point Christian School is right up in here. So those are the primary schools that we have. I've mentioned on another video that we do have a campus of the University of Mississippi on the DeSoto Center. It shares that campus with Northwest Community College right here in Senatobia, a little bit further south. That DeSoto campus is at Church Road and 55 right up in this area on Ross Boulevard or Ross Parkway, this area. So the DeSoto campus, the DeSoto Center campus, is just to the north of the Lander Center. So if you're looking to get an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree and actually stay in Southaven, DeSoto County, you can do that here at the DeSoto Center for the DeSoto campus for Northwest and the University of Mississippi. Associate's degree through Northwest and your bachelor's degree through the University of Mississippi. Those are our school options for undergraduate and graduate schools that we have here in Southaven and DeSoto County. Let's talk some about shopping. And I've mentioned some shopping already with the Tanger outlets at Church Road and Airways and 55. I've also mentioned Sam's at the corner of, let's see here, Sam's Club. It's highlighted right here at the corner of Elmore and Goodman Road. This area right in here on Goodman Road, there is a Chick-fil-A, Walmart. There is Town Center, a lot of shopping and stuff in here. There is shopping up here in the West End, lots of older businesses and smaller businesses along Highway 51. There are some shops here, some restaurants outside the Lander Center, a few businesses that are right in here in this Church Road area. There's a little shopping strip right in here with some restaurants. All up and down Airways, you'll be able to find shops and stuff that happen in through here. Going north on Airways, there is a Lowe's right in here. This isn't necessarily shopping, but this is the Baptist Memorial Hospital that's here in Southaven. Baptist Hospital, it's got a really good, nice complex here, lots of medical facilities and other medical businesses all along here. MOGA is Memphis Obstetrics and Gynecology. That's a newer business here. They've got a main office up in Memphis, but they've got a few scattered around. You also find shopping all along Goodman Road in through here. And when you get back over into Getwell, there's a big Kroger here. Lots of shopping and stuff along the line, along Getwell Road. And it continues on down into the high school. There are some shopping strip areas in here that you can get coffee, Wild Birds, specialty drinks, Southaven Pottery, clothing boutiques, all kinds of things down in through here. Some office buildings, smaller, that kind of like looks like homes that have one or two or three businesses in those. Lots of different areas over in this particular area. And I want to call your attention to something you may have heard me talk about before or heard others talk about, and that's going to be Snowden Grove Park and Silo Square. That's kind of the big stuff that's happened recently in the last few years. Silo Square, that is. Silo Square is this area right in here that has residences, homes built back in this area. And this location right in here, there are shops in through here with restaurants, boutiques, specialty thing, local, a few brands that you might hear in other places. Georgia Blues is not just a local thing here. It's a really good restaurant. We love going there. There's several places in here. I've got a couple of my favorite coffee places in Southaven. Beans and Leaves is one of those. And the other one is Coffee Central right down here on Getwell. I love both of those. And you might find me hanging out there, or we're having a conversation. We might go have a meeting at Coffee Central or at Beans and Leaves. But there is residences, apartments above some of the buildings, and more is being developed. It's not fully developed yet. Snowden Grove Park is this area right in here. It's actually a little bit bigger than this. It goes back over into here and takes into the soccer fields. It was opened 25 probably years ago as ball fields with an area that you could have events, Southaven Spring Fest barbecue competition getting people ready for Memphis in May. Rides, carnival food. It's a great time to be out there. All happened out there. And then the Bank Plus Amphitheater is an outdoor amphitheater in here that we can have concerts, other special events. There's fireworks displays, 4th of July. There are all kinds of different events, some that you pay to go to and some that are free to attend here in Snowden Grove Park. There's a walking trail that goes around the park. When I'm walking, because I live not far from here, I will walk through up this road and actually walk over into Silo Square and back home, and that'll get me a little over 3 miles to get that walk in. Or sometimes I'll walk around the ball fields, or I'll walk around the soccer fields. Soccer fields were added a couple of years ago. There's a tennis complex in here, just added some pickleball here. So there's lots of different things that you can do for recreation and to have fun. And one of the things that Southaven is in the process of doing, trying to help us be more green and more careful about the environment, making it available for people to do more walking in an area. And that is they are connecting Central Park, which is one of our parks, city parks that we have. They're connecting Central Park with walking trail, a walking path, and a bike path down Tullahoma up into this subdivision for Silo Square. It will actually connect over here. There's a bridge that's been put over Getwell Road right here that will connect Central Park to Snowden Grove Park. So people can get out here and walk, ride their bikes to connect over into this area. This walking path actually goes further down, so it connects to the schools. So you can walk to the schools. There's not a current walking path going north, but it's feasible to say that you could walk to shopping at Kroger. You could walk to shopping at others that are going over here. There's a Whataburger in here. There's a Chick-fil-A in here, and more. This whole area has been, up till recently, cows walking on that property. And that's all going to be developed, sold, and developed out. There's actually going to be a new subdivision. I believe it's about 700 homes that are going to be built back in this area. This is Nail Road. It doesn't go all the way through, but it will connect, and these homes will border Tullahoma and Nail for this area. It was just recently approved over the last couple of months. So we'll start seeing some stuff going on in there. So those are going to be your prime shopping areas around in Southaven. We're also I want to show you kind of distances, how long it takes to get to different places that you may be wanting to go to. If you live in Southaven and you want to go to the Memphis airport, you're either going to go, you're going to take, depending on where you live, you're going to take Getwell up to Holmes and Sweeney and to Winchester and come into the airport, or you're going to take I-55 and come up I-55 to 240 and come back down a little bit and come into the airport. You can go up Airways and connect over in here with a street and come back around. You can do that. And if you're in the central part of Southaven, you can expect that to take maybe 20 minutes, depending on traffic. If it is a high traffic time of the day, early morning, late afternoon, that might take you a little bit longer, but you've got ways to get to the airport. Now, if you happen to work at FedEx World Headquarters, or you need to go out there, FedEx World Headquarters is located at Hacks Cross Road and Winchester, right up in this area. So if you're going to be going out to FedEx World Headquarters, you're going to you may go Goodman Road all the way out to Hacks Cross Road and go north on Hacks Cross Road. You could also go up you can go up, this is Riverdale, Germantown Road, 305. It's got a lot of different names outside of Olive Branch. Goodman over to this area. You can hit Shelby Drive and go to Hacks Cross Road here. If you live back over in this area, you could actually go up I-55 to 240 to 385 back down. All that's going to take you about 25 to 30 minutes, depending on if you're going interstate. that's a long way to go out of the way to go interstate. It might be a little bit faster. But any of these, you can take Getwell up to Shelby Drive and cut across. You can go all the way up Getwell to Winchester and go out Winchester. It gets in a little more traffic and congested, but that's where the FedEx World Headquarters is. The tournament players golf course that we've got the FedEx Cup that's I think it's part of the PGA. It has been in the past. I'm not as much up on golf right now, but there's a big tournament that happens there every year right outside FedEx's World Headquarters. All right, so now we're going to take a look at a little bit more of the surrounding areas from Southaven. I've already mentioned Hernando, the county seat. It is going to be a 10 or 15 minute drive south on 55, south on Getwell to get to, or south on 51 to get into Hernando. Depending on where you're going in Olive Branch, to get into Olive Branch's main part of town, about a 15-minute drive. Horn Lake, about a 10-minute drive. Walls, this area out here is going to be probably about another 15 to 20 minutes total. Some other areas you may hear about, Bartlett. People may work in Bartlett. Out in this area, there's also Germantown, Collierville. Out here at I-240 and Germantown Road, there is one of the big malls, Wolf Chase Mall, Galleria, Chick-fil-A, Walmart, restaurants, Lowe's, Home Depot, lots of traffic heading out of this area, lots of places to do some shopping. Those are some places you want to get to. You can expect that to take you about 35 to 40 minutes. If you're going to the Memphis Zoo, you can expect it to take you about 30 minutes. Downtown Memphis, 30 to 35 minutes, depending on where you're coming from. Again, time of day. As long as there's no sled on the interstate, maybe get there a little bit faster. The Region 1 Medical Center here. So this just kind of gives you an idea of what you may hear about when people are talking about living in Memphis. They can actually live in Memphis, or if they don't live in the city of Memphis, they might live in Bartlett. They might live in Germantown. You might hear people talk about Cordova. It's an unincorporated part of the Memphis area, in Shelby County, Collierville, some of these other areas, Arlington, Lakeland. They begin to bleed over into the next county outside of Shelby County, but it's another place that people want to live. We're going to talk about all these places in a different video, but I just wanted you to see the proximity of Southaven to other areas in Memphis that you may be going to. Shelby Farms is a place that people like to go and hang out for recreation and do some things out there. So it just kind of gives you an idea of where Southaven is as it relates to other areas of the Mid-South. Now, before we end, I want to talk to you briefly about some areas that you might consider living in Southaven. You can see Dickens Place here on the map. It is one of the oldest, newer subdivisions. As Getwell was being developed, it was, as I had family that lived down in here, from me watching it being built over the last 25 or 30 years, it was the first newer subdivision that was built. Since then, Cherry Tree Park has gone in. It has an older area and some new areas. I don't even think they're finished building back in here yet. There is an older area that was built on the lake back up in here that you might consider looking in against some older homes. You might have some on the lake with actually lake frontage in this area. I've already mentioned the Silo Square area, new subdivision coming in here. Snowden Grove subdivision, there's a 55 plus up here on Nail Road. There are older homes here along Church Road that have typically acreage. Some of Church Road has been eaten up from them, has consumed some of their land because it went from a 2-lane road. Some of it was even gravel. It went from a 2-lane road to being a full 4-lane road all the way over into Olive Branch. So it took some of their front of their yards. but most of these we would consider they're state-size type homes. The homes may not be that big, but they were built on 2, 3, 4, 5 or more acres that you'll have in here. Some still have horses on those, ponds, lakes in there, and there is a brand new subdivision that's being built right back in this area and in this area. Subdivisions in here. There is a newer subdivision going on over in here. This area I've mentioned before is the old part of Southaven. It's going to be older homes, some probably built before the city was even incorporated, which was 53 years. So you're talking some homes up here that could be 60 plus years old. Smaller homes, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, the kind of homes they were building back in the 60s and early 70s weren't the sizes that we have now. It was all compartmentalized, smaller. Rooms were smaller, fewer rooms in it, but it just kind of gives you an idea of where you may consider living if you want to live in the Memphis area, but not in Memphis, and you want to live in Southaven. Just to take a look at some of these here, there are still houses and places to live in all of these. Those are just some of the primary subdivision areas that we have here. This is another area up in here that is older, houses built on large lots, some acreage, maybe a few bigger homes. So just kind of gives you an idea of the homes here in Southaven. I hope this map tour of Southaven has been helpful to you. Again, if you need help making that move, I want to make sure that you're confident every step of the way in that move. I can help you, or the network of agents that I have can help you make that move to the Memphis area so that you can enjoy living in Memphis and enjoy the home that you get in Memphis. Even if it's not in Memphis, it can be in the Memphis area, and we can help you out with that. Hey, I hope you'll remember to hit the subscribe button and click the bell so that you can be notified when the latest episodes of Living in Memphis drop to help you make your next move to the Memphis area. I love living in Memphis, and I hope you'll come be my neighbor.